Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today I'm going to show you how to connect your PlayStation 5 controller to your Windows PC using DS4 Windows so you can then use it to play all of your favorite games. I will say off the bat that the way that this works is that DS4 Windows pretends that your controller is an Xbox controller, specifically an Xbox 360 controller, in order to play all of your favorite games. It does have the ability to emulate a PlayStation controller, but because a lot of games don't have support for that, that'll oftentimes break the controller and won't be able to be used until you set it back. Because if a game could handle a PlayStation controller, you wouldn't need a third-party driver for that. So anyway, with that in mind, you're going to need to download a couple of things to get this working. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download DS4 Windows. I'll put all of the links to these things in the video description below, but if you want to Google along with me, you certainly can. So if you Google this, you want to grab the first link here from RioChan7. That's the most recent developer of DS4 Windows. There was another developer before this. So that'll take you to this GitHub page from RioChan7. You'll want to download the .NET 8 desktop runtime 64-bit edition. If you have a newer version of the .NET framework, you can go ahead and use that. It should work just fine. If you don't or you don't know, just download and run this. Then make sure you download the actual driver itself, DS4 Windows. Grab the 64-bit zip file. After that, you're going to need the ViGEmBus driver. This is the driver that talks between DS4 Windows and your actual controller. It's made by Nefarious. So you'll want this one here at the top from Releases Nefarious ViGEmBus. It'll look like this. Just grab this latest edition. And then once you've got all of that stuff, you're going to go ahead and open up whatever folder that's in. Go ahead and run and install the .NET framework right here, the ViGEmBus installer as well, and then when you're done, restart your computer. And then once you've got that done, you can then open up DS4 Windows, and you can extract it with like 7-zip or WinRAR or whatever you want to use to open zip files. I'm just going to extract it to a file of the same name. That way the contents of the folder don't spill everywhere. And then inside of here, we have our DS4 Windows program. It's this little rainbowy icon right here. It says application. We're just going to go ahead and run that. And then if everything is installed correctly, because the .NET framework is what this uses in order to do its thing, you should then see this pop up. It asks you where you want your settings to be saved. Always put them in the program folder. That way, if anything goes weird with the program and you need to reset it up, you can just delete the program folder and you don't have to hunt down all the different settings files in your app data folder. So give that a click. It'll then open up another little pop-up window. This is basically asking you which one of these different driver or controllers that this program supports are you going to be using. By default, it's set up to use PlayStation 4 controllers. That's what the DS4 device support is for. It stands for DualShock 4. I'm going to go ahead and leave that checked, but we also want to check DualSense device support. The DualSense controller is the PS5 controller, the base model, and also this will handle the DualShock Edge controller. It'll also support the Switch Pro controller for the Switch 1 and the Joy-Cons for the Switch 1, as well as the PlayStation 3 controller, but you'll need an extra device called DS HID Mini in order for that to work. I'll do a separate tutorial on how to do that later. So once you've got that set up and click close, it'll open up this window, and this will then search for any controllers that you have connected to your computer. I don't have one connected right now. I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, I'm going to show you, if you go to settings and you go to the side over here underneath this little box full of all these little hyperlinks, if you need to change which one of these controllers you want to have support for, you can change that anytime by clicking this device options button. That'll open up a similar little pop-up window, and you can check whichever controllers that you want to have supported right here in the upper left corner, and then just hit exit when you're done. So with that in mind, we're going to connect our PlayStation 5 controller. I'm going to open up my Bluetooth and devices settings window. It's in your Windows system settings. You can also just look up Bluetooth and devices in the Windows search bar, and you'll be able to click and it'll take you right here. And first thing I'm going to do is make sure your controller is in your hand and it's charged. Then press and hold the PlayStation logo and the pill-shaped button in the upper left-hand corner of the touchpad in the middle of your controller. And press and hold both of those until the light bar around the center starts to blink rapidly like you're at the disco. Then you can click the big Add Device button at the top of this window. And in this next pop-up, click Bluetooth. And then wireless controller should pop up. It's unfortunately the exact same way that it labels the PlayStation 4 controller, so, make sure you're only doing one of these at a time so you don't confuse yourself and connect the wrong controller. So now that I've connected that, you should see in your DS4 windows, you should see DualSense controller pop up here in this list, and now you're good to go. You can immediately start playing your games. Remember that you need to leave DS4 windows open running in the background for it to function. And if for whatever reason your controller doesn't want to behave itself and show up during this process, flip it over. Next to the word Sony on the back is a little circular hole. To the right of the word Sony, press and hold a paperclip or something in there for a count of 12 to factory reset your controller, and then try pairing it with your computer again. That oftentimes fixes a lot of issues. It works the same way with PlayStation 4 controllers. The hole is just somewhere else. Whatever you do, don't shove it in the hole below the word Sony. That's a speaker and you'll break it. So keep that in mind. With that said, the last thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to rebind your controls for your settings profile. So you got these settings profiles under profile. You can edit them here. You can also go to controllers and you can select whatever settings profile you want here under selected profile. And you can go to edit. And in this window, basically the way that this works is anything that you can rebind for a button is in this picture. It's got the left and right sides of the touchpad, the top of the touchpad, which represents, all the different things you can use those buttons for. And you can hover over and click the one that you want to change. Like if I click on the triangle button, it'll allow me to rebind the triangle button. And my options are anything on the keyboard, anything on the mouse, or anything on a standard Xbox controller. So right now it's bound to the Y button, but I can make it bound to the 8 button if I want. And I can switch back to having it bound wherever I want by selecting it again and reselecting Y, or maybe I want it to be the right mouse button, whatever. You can change it to whatever you want, whenever you want. Over here under Axis Configuration, you can adjust dead zone settings if your controller is a little bit abused and damaged, so you don't have dead zone problems constantly making your characters move in games. And then last but certainly not least, when you're done changing all this, you want to hit save at the top to save that setting. But what you can also do inside the settings profile, if you really are dead set on having your controller set it or appear as a PlayStation controller, which you don't need this software if that's what you want to do, you can change it anytime by going to your settings profile and then going to Other. And then here at the top, you can change the emulated controller type from Xbox 360 to DualShock 4. Then you can hit save, and now I'm pretending to be a PlayStation 4 controller. If you want to change it back, because this will break a lot of the compatibility that you installed this software for, you just go back to Edit, go back to Other, and change it back to Xbox 360, and then hit save again. That way it's currently pretending to be an Xbox 360 controller. This is the way you're going to get maximum compatibility. Unfortunately, you're going to have Xbox controls popping up on the screen. Not much I can do about that. Talk to the developers about supporting PlayStation controllers. That's really about it. You can also change the color of your light bar either in the settings panel. to edit your settings profile, or you can click on this little color bar here, and then you can change with this little pop-up window to whatever color you want. It's got like an old school color selector. And you can see it change live on your controller as you play with it. It's kind of handy. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically how this works. I hope you found this helpful. It's a pretty straightforward process. Install the supporting software, open and run DS4 Windows, connect your controller. It works either with Bluetooth or with a cable, and you should be good to go. So until next time, I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.